OpenAI just opened up the wallet for a lot of countries to start investing massively in AI. And I do believe this is great news for companies like Nvidia and Oracle. On today's episode, I'm going to explain why and what's happening here with the overall AI space. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so first, just a quick background to kind of understand what's happening. But for those that are not familiar, earlier this year, we did see that OpenAI announced a massive AI infrastructure program. And that massive AI infrastructure program was called Stargate. So Stargate, in theory, is plans to invest about $500 billion over the next 4 years, building new AI infrastructure for OpenAI in the United States. Now, the big players in this were Microsoft, Nvidia, Oracle, and OpenAI, and ARM as key initial technology partners. And in terms of financials, you did have kind of a lot of money coming in from SoftBank and OpenAI. So I believe some of the big winners from what I'm going to announce are definitely going to be Nvidia and Oracle, which I believe have the biggest to win here. But overall, what OpenAI wanted to build these massive AI infrastructures to help overall train their AI solutions, and more importantly, use them most likely for inference in the future. Now, we did kind of get some updates to Stargate 1, which is kind of the first data center being built out here in the United States. And we see here Sam Altman and Greg Brockman kind of show pictures of these massive infrastructure solutions and how big these data centers are. Here, Sam Altman also kind of shared a picture of inside this system. And for this data center that Oracle is building, I do believe it's going to be filled with about 64,000 Grace Blackwell 200 GPUs or systems, which is going to be one of the biggest and most powerful system out there. So obviously we know that XAI has like about a 200,000 H100, but I do believe 64,000 GP200s has way better performance than 200 H200s. So it definitely showcases the lead that maybe OpenAI is trying to get against some of its competition. All right, so now that we have an introduction and kind of seeing the main player here, and again, all these massive data centers are going to be powered by various NVIDIA GPUs. They are going to be the main technology here. And obviously, you have a lot of winning from other companies that can come from here, the networking solution, the wiring solutions, the server makers, and the list goes on and on. And then Oracle is the company that's going to kind of be renting out the infrastructure, and that's how they make their money as well. Now, the new thing is today on May 7th of 2025, OpenAI is introducing OpenAI for countries, and this is a new initiative to support countries around the world that want to build their own AI solution. So their Stargate project is an unprecedented investment in American AI infrastructure announced in January with President Trump and their partners Oracle and SoftBank, and it's now underway with their first supercomputing in campus in Texas. I showed the pictures earlier in this episode, and they've heard from many countries asking for help in building out similar AI infrastructures that they want their own Stargates and similar projects. So overall here I can see that I don't think we're going to get another massive $500 billion investment by any other country in the world. But now it opens up, hey, maybe a $50 billion data center project in this country, a $70 billion data center project in this country. All that adds up. And obviously, because it adds up, who I believe is going to be a big winner off of this is first Oracle, right? Oracle is going to be the one that's most likely going to be creating the AI infrastructure and being the player to design these cloud infrastructures because they're really good at it. And obviously, if we start to see this, it means that Nvidia is also going to see a huge influx of demand for their GPUs, as I do believe Nvidia has the better AI chips and they're going to continue to win market share. So for OpenAI to be sharing this, I do believe there are some opportunities and maybe contracts ready to open up as quickly as possible. Maybe not as quickly as possible, but pretty soon. Because, like they mentioned, they've heard from many countries asking for help in building out similar AI infrastructures that they want their own Stargates and similar projects with. Now, one thing that I found pretty interesting is they are going to be working very closely with the United States government to make sure that they're able to do a lot of these things. And I think this is where things are going to get tricky. Maybe I've talked about it in the past. Maybe the current administration is more trade happy than maybe others and kind of use this more of as a leverage. Hey, look, if you work with us on our tariffs deal, we will be able to accept or approve this kind of partnership where OpenAI can actually go into your country and start to build these massive data center investments. So, in response to these interested government, OpenAI is offering a new kind of art partnership for the intelligence age through formalized infrastructure collaboration and in coordination with the United States government. OpenAI will first partner with countries to help build in-country data center capacity. I'm pretty sure if OpenAI is doing it, they're going to kind of make it where you're most likely only using OpenAI solutions, provide customized chat GPT to citizens, raise then deploy national startup funds to be able to build these forms of data centers, which will create jobs, which will create revenue. And I do believe it's a great way for OpenAI to continue to find a new way to one, be able to build infrastructure, but not put all the money itself, right? Because at the end of the day, OpenAI is going to be able to use this infrastructure to train new solutions and also to be able to provide various inference all over the world. As OpenAI moves forward with OpenAI for countries, our goal is to pursue 10 projects with individual countries or region as the first phase of this initiative and expand from there. I wouldn't be surprised that within the next month or two, we actually hear the first project here. Now, if I was to make any assumptions, I think maybe the first one would be someplace where SoftBank is pretty strong in, and I would say Japan. I think Japan could be a strong player here with the Stargate project because of the overall SoftBank portion of it. The second, I would probably have to guess something with the UAE, and the reason I think about that is lately we have been hearing a lot of discussions of the Trump administration going to the UAE and kind of talking about maybe reducing the chip export restrictions to that part of the world, and all of this is happening during the same time. Earlier this afternoon, we actually saw that Nvidia shares rise as Trump prepares to end chip export diffusion law. So all this coming out at the same time, it's telling me that there is going to be maybe some nice announcement of maybe expanding the United States led technology into other parts of the world with this Stargate project. And I actually could see this very bullish. So I did a video on the export controls a few hours ago. Make sure to check that out. But there might be some form of misconception happening here where many people believe that this means that the Chinese market might open up back to Nvidia. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think it's more just kind of going to be on the tier 2 countries. Again, check that video out to kind of learn more, but I would say the Chinese market is still, in my opinion, going to be heavily blocked, at least for now. If obviously things change, that could be even better. But I think for right now, I wouldn't expect the Chinese market to get any forms of AI chips from Nvidia or AMD. Now, I mentioned that Oracle is going to be a big player here. I definitely do believe Oracle is going to be a massive winner once we start to see more Stargate announcements, because this is going to be a way for them to grow their cloud infrastructure at fast levels and have plenty of kind of contract wins out of it. Now, for those that are not familiar, Oracle has massive cloud regions all over the world, and they're doing really well. And they mentioned that they got over 130 billion in RPO, remaining performance obligations, without any transactions from Stargate. And Stargate looks to be the biggest AI training project out there. So they do expect that this will grow, their RPO will grow at even higher levels in the coming quarters. And they do expect their first Stargate project fairly soon. So again, I think Oracle is going to be a big winner here. year. Now, I think one of the losers, in my opinion, is kind of Microsoft. Microsoft has kind of stepped away a little bit from maybe investing too much in OpenAI's infrastructure and kind of gave that role to kind of Oracle and SoftBank. So while I don't think Microsoft is losing bad, it just has kind of created a growth cap of how much when you de-riskify yourself, and that's something that Microsoft did here by maybe not pushing their capex as heavy as maybe OpenAI does. Obviously, you do it for making sure you don't overextend yourself. But if it is a market that there is vast growth opportunity because you didn't invest dramatically in this AI infrastructure space, you're giving up a lot of growth. And I think that's what's going to happen with Microsoft. I think in some alternate universe, Microsoft was like, here, OpenAI, take all the money you need. And it paid off really well for them, as there is a lot of growth coming here from OpenAI. So I can understand why Microsoft did it. It has to kind of worry about its shareholders, but maybe sometimes it's a little bit too conservative. And obviously, with the way it's spending, conservative might not be the right word. But I do believe they gave up a lot of gains by not being kind of the top player in the Stargate project. So for me, overall, this is very bullish for companies like Nvidia, like Oracle. Many might say it's also bullish for companies like AMD, as we do know that Oracle, for example, has a great partnership with AMD and has built a lot of big AI clusters using AMD chips. So there is the possibility of Oracle and AMD also kind of working up for maybe some of these Stargate projects in the future or other parts of the world. Overall, what I am very positive of is the AI market is still pretty strong, and anybody that's providing some viable solution in this space can definitely benefit. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.